Hey everybody, this is Sam with OpSuite, and I'm really excited to be here with you today, going through our transaction tracker and really walking you through why we use this when you partner with us, as well as how it supports you as a business owner versus you as an agent, just closing deals. So first off, the spreadsheet that we're sharing, it's not supposed to feel micromanaging. What it's supposed to do is give you clarity, predictability. It's supposed to give you some control over your business so you can really start making smarter, educated decisions versus just trying to base your decisions off of emotion. So, the reason the spreadsheet exists to begin with is that I see it with agents at every level. They feel busy, but they don't actually know a couple of things. One, how much money is actually coming in. Two, where their deals, where are they coming from? What lead sources? Three is, what's actually converting versus what feels busy. And then four, when they should hire, delegate, or even pull back on certain resources. And with all of these questions comes some clarity with the spreadsheet because we can really take that data and make better decisions. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'll explain to you each of the columns and then why we're tracking these things, as well as how you can do it on your own too. So if you don't have a copy of our transaction spreadsheet, please feel free to reach out. We're happy to send you a template. You can use it on your own. If you are a transaction management customer, or if you do listing management with us, you will have one of these. So please be sure to reach out to us and we're happy to share it if you don't have it already. Okay, so let's talk about what's on this spreadsheet. So first, we're obviously going to track the deal type, seller or buyer, because we want to know what percentage of your business is coming from the sell side and what percentage of your business is coming from the buy side. With that, we're also going to track the status of every deal: active, pending, closed, expired. We're also going to track are canceled because we want to know how many of the transactions that we're working actually cancel. We want to know our cancellation rate because we want to see what are the gaps and how can we get better. So this also is going to tell us, the truth about our pipeline. So not like what we're hoping that we're going to close, but what actually is going to close and how many days on market we're having with our active listings. It tells us so much more. And this is going to help you stop being so surprised by your income gaps. So next, you're going to see your name, your agent, and TC. If there's a team, you might see a team leader. Then you're going to see the address, of course, the customer names, and the source. Now, when it comes to source, this column is critical. It's also critical that you use something in the dropdown versus just typing in like Sam's sphere. You'll see this little red tick mark, and that says, uh-oh, that's invalid. So you want to make sure that you're putting sphere. The reason it's critical that you put something that's already in the dropdown is because that actually talks to this tab at the bottom, the lead source totals tab. And we'll get to that in a little bit, but I really wanted to point that out, is you want to make sure that you're using one of these. If there's a source that's not listed on here, feel free to reach out to somebody at OpSuite. We're happy to edit this and make sure that it's all cohesive across the board for you. Next, and I'm going to change that back because I had it as an agent referral. So next, you're going to see that we're tracking our active date, our expiration date, under contract date, and closing date. Again, this is so that way we can see what is the time frame from the moment we go active on the market to the moment we go under contract. We're tracking our expiration dates to be sure that we're able to have conversations with sellers prior to this coming off the market. With that said, we're also tracking the list price and the sale price. We want to know what is the list to sell ratio, right? So what percentage is the contract price based upon the list price? This is a really good statistic for you to know as an agent. And if it's a positive percentage where you are absolutely outperforming the rest of the industry, we want to market that because that's a big deal. So you're putting in the list price and then you're putting in the sale price. Now, what's next is our commission percentage. So you're going to go ahead and put in your commission percentage, and from there, it's going to auto calculate for you. So you'll see that if I put in a 2% here, it auto calculates Obviously, we're working for 3% or more. So 3%, it auto calculates your total GCI, gross commission income, at 13,350. Now, this is where things can get a little bit tricky. So now that we have our total gross commission income figured out, you may or may not have any outbound referral fees. This might be an agent referral that you have to pay. It might be a referral fee to some type of lead source, for example, HomeLight, Effective Agents, 55 Places. There are a lot of different lead sources. So what we want to do is take that off the top. So you're going to put in whatever percentage that you have to pay from that commission, that total GCI, and we're going to put that in. So let's say this is a 25% agent to agent referral. That auto calculates for you. So you can see if it was 0, it's not there. And if it's 25%, there we go. So now we can see that you have to pay $3,300 and some change to the outbound agent. So then what's going to happen is it will auto calculate for you to do your total GCI minus the amount you're already going to pay your outside agent. And that gives you $10,012.50. Now from there, we have a column, agent's total percentage. What this means is out of whatever is left, how much do you get to keep as the agent? So if you're a team owner, you might be on a split with the agents. This might actually be an agent on your team, right? And so you're going to split it 50-50. You get 50%, the other agent gets 50%. You might not have any agents on your team. It might just be you. It could be 100%. So that's what that column is for, and it will auto calculate your agent GCI for you. Since we're going to keep it at 100%, our agent GCI will be the same as column T. So we're at $10,012.50. Column W is your brokerage fee that you're charging. So if you're charging the buyers and or sellers a brokerage fee to be paid at closing, this is where this goes. I know some people that charge $700. I've seen people charge thousands. I've seen $199. I've seen 0. So let's say in this case that the seller is being charged $499 at closing. That's going to auto calculate for you the total agent GCI, which is the GCI plus the brokerage fee. That's $10,511.50 that you will be collecting at closing. Now, columns Y and Z. Y is your brokerage company cap and or royalty. So if you owe your brokerage any money, you can fill that in here. And then also, if there were any concessions or you owe your brokerage a brokerage fee, you can put that in here. So for example, let's say that you decided to give $250 to the buyer on the other side towards a home warranty. You will go ahead and fill $250 in, and it will auto calculate in your net take home. I'm going to keep it at 0 because let's keep all the dollars in your pocket. This net take home, column AA, this is what your check should be. So this amount in AA should match the check that deposits into your bank account. So from a bookkeeping perspective, when I'm reconciling bank accounts with the income, I want to see the number in AA9 be the same number that's in your bank account. And if it's not, I'm going to go, what's up with that? Also, something that we do once the transaction closes as a transaction manager is we're going to actually take the DA, the disbursement authorization, and we're going to go back into the spreadsheet and we're going to see how much company dollar did you pay? How much royalty did you pay? How much in brokerage fees did you have to pay? Did you pay any concessions? Because things change last minute. Sometimes we don't know the exact amounts and this might not be correct. So on our side, we're always actually reconciling this spreadsheet for you after it closes against the disbursement authorization to be sure that there are no discrepancies. And at the end of the year, you should be able to go to column AA, add up all of the rows, and that should be the amount on your 1099 at the end of the year from your brokerage. So it is really important that you keep up with this and that you make sure that you're, doing it and everything is accurate. That's pretty much the transactions side of things. Now, it's really nice that you can go ahead and put pre-listings on here. Once they go, from pre-listing, now they're active. Once they're active, they're pending. And once they're pending, they're closed. So working through that status is really nice to be able to pull up your pipeline quickly and just really understand like what's going on and how much is happening, within the next couple of months. So something that I like to do for some of our clients within our memberships, they have either a monthly or they have a quarterly financial review. I will pull their spreadsheet here and I'll go, let's talk about what's closing this month. Let's talk about what's closing next month. And let's look at how much income is coming in versus your expenses. And let's figure out how many do you need to get under contract to be sure you're either breaking even or you're making enough money to reach the goals that you set for yourself. So we use this all the time. I have so many open all of the time, and it's crucial that you're always keeping up on this, because if it's not accurate, we're not able to make the best decisions for our business. Now, when it comes down to this yearly totals tab, I want to review the total counts, the seller counts, and then your total buyer counts. So these are your goals. And then it's also how much is left to reach your goal. So let's say that you had a goal of closing 24 transactions, which was a total of 7 million in volume. And that equaled a total of 125,000 in GCI. This is just for fun. I don't know if those numbers even make sense. I think they do, but let's just go for there. What it's going to do is it's auto going to pull from this transaction spreadsheet, which you can see I put one closed. So it's already pulling one closed here. So let me go and put that back. Okay, so you can see that there are 0 closed now, which is 0% to our goal. The gap, meaning how much we have left to close, is 24, 7 million and 125 in GCI. And then you can see we have one pending for 445,000 and 13,350. That means our gap right here minus the pending amount is 23 transactions we need, 6,555 in volume, and 111 in GCI. So you can always really keep tabs on how am I doing to my goal and what do I have left. Now, when it comes to seller and buyer counts, basically what this is, it's the same thing, but it breaks apart the goal. So if you had a goal of closing 24 transactions and 50% of that is sellers, 50% of that is buyers, you can go in here and put in 12 and then 7 million. Half of that would be 33,500,000. And then half of 125 would be divided by 2, 62,500. So this would be your seller close goal. That's half of your total goal. And this would be your buyer close goal as well. So you can track buyers versus sellers if that's something that's of interest to you. Lastly, what this page will do is it will track your average sale price. It will track your average commission price and your average dollar commission. So basically, how much is your average check? This pulls directly from your transactions tab. And so once you start putting data in here, it's really going to start calculating that for you. Oops. And you'll be able to see right off rip what the average sales price is, your average commission, and your average dollar. Last but not least is your lead source totals. So your lead source totals page is actually, again, pulling from your transactions page. And this is going to show you exactly what lead sources you're closing, what lead sources are pending, and the amount that the percentage of business this is closed. So all of this will add up to 100%, and you'll be able to see that your sphere, for example, is 65% of your business. So the percentage of business closed is going to really give you an idea on where should you spend your money. We have marketing dollars in the budget, and budget's a whole other thing for another day, but we have marketing dollars in the budget. If we see that 65% are coming from our sphere, we want to take 65% or more of our budget and put it towards that, because this is going to bring in the highest return on our investment. If we see that, we're working expireds and we're spending 6 hours a day on expired listings, but we've only closed one, we need to really look at that and say, okay, if time is money, does this return on my investment make sense? It may not. So it is really important to understand where your business is coming from and um, how to make smarter decisions to bring in more business if that's a goal of yours. So if spreadsheets aren't your thing, that's totally okay. I get it. I love spreadsheets, but that's just because I'm a crazy human. This doesn't have to be a scary tool, though. It is exactly what it is, though. It's a tool. You don't have to love it. You just have to understand what it's trying to tell you. So, again, this tracker is here to support you. It's here to protect your income, and it's here to give you clarity so that way you can make better decisions on your business. Once you review this, if you have any questions on how to fill this out, how to use it for your business planning, bring it to your next membership call or your quarterly call, and we'll help you use the data, not just collect it. Thanks so much for tuning in.